Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the Chinese P-43A-1 Lancer sitting at 2.7 battle rating in realistic. Now this match was one of those matches. When I came back I played this plane at a certain point and got a match that these are the matches that you play War Thunder for. It reminds me every time when you have these kind of matches that this is what I come back for. This is what I love. And you will see there's everything under the sun in this match. Trying to survive, trying to get through, and being daring, but also being smart. So you'll see everything come by in the background while I'll go through the plane. I already have the regular one in the American tree, of course, the premium plane, which I reviewed in 2017, I believe. It's already quite a while ago. Actually, quite a nice plane. Not excelling in everything, but decent in everything, and quite a jack of all trades. But not shining in everything. But it's a sturdy little plane that has its strengths. Definitely. It is not a fast plane, I can definitely say that. For example, the J-22A and B are faster than this plane in the Swedish line, for example, which we flew out in recent times around this battle rating, or the J-21A1, the pusher prop is also much faster than this plane, sitting only slightly higher at 3.0. So there's, and also in other lines there is much more speed than this plane. For example, the BF-109s are faster than this plane as well. Anyway, the maximum speed in this plane at sea level without WEP is 443 and with WEP 455 kilometers an hour. At 4,500 meters, this is 413 without WEP and 424 with. And finally, at 6,500 meters, still go up to 391 kilometers an hour without WEP and 405 with WEP. This is in indicated airspeed without Mach. Now, it is not fast, but it is not super slow either. It's just a regular plain average in a straight line. Nothing much to write home about. The top speed in a dive is a different matter though. It is like a little thunderbolt there. 723 kilometers an hour before she redlines and 800 kilometers an hour plus before she rips apart. That is quite nice at 2.7 battle rating. And that is one of the best avenues of escape and longevity in this plane. You've got to get altitude, and although this plane isn't the best on the higher altitudes, you want to get up to altitude and use the dive speed in this plane. It is helped by the energy retention a little bit. It has decent energy retention in the horizontal, so it can hold its speed with WEP a little bit. But there is planes that hold their speed better in a straight line, so be aware of that. The control stiffening is quite nice. You get a little tick at 475 kilometers an hour and then only at 600 a second tick, but it doesn't become terrible. And so the roll rate in a dive is quite good, and you can keep your guns on target in a dive quite well. So there is that. In the meantime, you saw that we had quite a daring beginning, and then after that, after one kill, we decided to go back home and repair. My entire team got killed off, and I'm in a 1 versus 9 now. Although this ground attacker here will manage to kill himself a little bit later on. So yeah, but that is good. But we are already approached by several planes on a higher altitude. I'm trying to climb with keeping the airfield a little bit as cover, as I don't know how many people are there. I need a little bit of altitude in this plane to get up to speed against planes like the Ki-44. I mean, very maneuverable and also very good energy retention, acceleration and that kind of stuff. The flight performance of the Ki-44 is definitely way above what this plane has. So I'm in a major disadvantage here. Numerical, but also with the quality of planes. I'm facing Corsairs, I'm facing Ki-44s. It's a mess. But this is why I will show you why you've got to stay into these matches, because this kind of situation will teach you how to fly. And you got to play smart. You got to use everything at your disposal to get through these kind of matches. So yeah, I'm not gonna fly into the open and let myself be killed. I want to stretch this out. I want to have the dogfights. and I want to survive. That is the aim of this. And yeah, they are engaging me. So here we go. In the meantime, the stall speed in this plane is 160 kilometers an hour, which is slightly below average, or slightly above average, sorry, and that is quite nice, 160. The firepower in the plane is very good to very good, with 4 50 cals, 12.7 millimeter M2 Browning machine guns with 200 rounds per gun. Now that ammo load is above average, but not fantastic. You run out of them pretty quickly. But it's usually around this number, so it's not bad. You just gotta watch your trigger happiness a little bit. There is no bomb loads on the Key 43, so it's purely a fighter, and that's it. And a pretty interesting one at that. Not fantastic, mind you, but it's nice. We get the Key 44 in a head-on. As I wanted to say, the durability in this plane is great, so you can take a risk in this plane with head-ons and stuff like that in a pickle. And we were in a pickle here. The Corsair was shot down by the airfield, but we are immediately engaged by a high Key 61 here, which is coming at us, and there's a second dot approaching out of the sun there, so there's 2 planes on my ass right now again as well. A second Corsair coming in, so that is going to be quite interesting right here. Now my cough is almost gone, but my throat is already tickling after these minutes providing the commentary, so it's going to be interesting how it ends up my voice. Anyway, the acceleration in a straight line is decent. In a dive it's decent to good, slightly better. The energy retention in the horizontal is decent, and these kind of kills are often some of the best. Maneuver kill, use the environment with you. Some people are just too eager. That's always nice. And the energy retention in the vertical is no more than average, unfortunately. The plane loses a lot of speed in maneuvers, especially in the vertical, so you gotta be aware of that. Plane also becomes a little bit sluggish at below 300 kilometers an hour. That's not the place to maneuver, as we just missed the Key 61 there in our attempt to get him. As he passes us by there, the airfield is opening up on him though, so they might get him. Climb rate in the plane is average, nothing to write home about. You have to side climb in this plane to get the altitude, and you want to get the altitude. So this is a plane where you really have to show some patience, get some side climbing in, and make some good decisions on when you want to enter the battle. Once you have this plane wound up and on altitude and ready to boom and zoom, this plane is a sweet plane at 2.7 battle rating. Turn time in the plane is decent, good with flaps, and the flaps only rip off at 460 kilometers an hour, which is quite nice. Those speeds are not manageable for this plane in a straight line. You won't get there, so you will only have to be afraid of ripping off your flaps when you're in a dive. And I mean, in a dive you don't want to use the flaps anyway, so be careful of that. The roll rate in the plane is above average, actually decent when the plane is fast, but when it gets below 300 kilometers an hour it becomes a bit cumbersome. But in a dive the roll rate is at its best, and you can get guns on target on quite a few planes, quite a few opposing planes. You would be surprised. That's the best, that's where this plane is best. In a dive, rolling, shooting, and it can outlast a lot of planes at 2.7 battle rating. Now overheating in this plane is bad. It does need to be managed. It overheats quite fast, so you gotta manage that a little bit, but if you focus on that it shouldn't be a problem. Durability in the plane, as I said, is great. It can soak lots of damage, so you can take risks in this plane, especially when you have to. And you know, get yourself out of a pickle. The plane will help you to get you home. It can take that damage and still land, and that's what you want to have in a plane like this. Not the best maneuvering plane, but it does then have that sturdiness that you want in a plane that isn't excelling at anything particular except a dive. But yeah, dive is usually used to, well, either boom and zoom, but if you can't get up top, then it's just used to escape. And still a good skill though. I mean, you have to use what you have. That's what you have in this plane. So there you go. Boom and zooming then is the fun in this plane. With a first turn or two in a pickle, when you go fast, you might surprise people, especially when you're fast and you do have the roll rate. You can, you know, in a scissors you might be able to shake off a few people as well, especially when pilot skill comes in. But that's not something you want to count on, right? You want to count on the quality of the plane itself, as this A6M2N float plane is slowly stalling out, but not quite yet. He gets off a few more shots, but we roll out of the way of his line of fire and put him on fire. Critical hit. Well, that's good. He should be going down. We are already going towards a kilometer for extending. We've got a Key 45 coming from altitude here with quite a bit of speed. He is definitely gaining on me, and it's going to be difficult to outrun him. As I said, this plane's acceleration in a straight line is decent, but it's not fantastic. So we are not gonna get up to speed. He slowly was gaining on us. We are now though extending slowly, but we've got other people lined up as well that should be somewhere coming in, you know, so we'll see what happens. Slightly above us, but lovely little plane. It has some good guns for 50 cals. You have the sturdiness, you have the top speed in a dive. It is quite a nice plane to learn yourself the boom and zoom principles. Get some side climbing in, position yourself well, make good decisions for when you want to approach people, and then go all in the dive. And there you have some space against most planes, some luxury there. You won't rip this plane apart anytime soon. It is quite good in those dives, so you're gonna have fun there. But maneuvering against heavy fighters also is fun, although we do get a hit here on the wing, big hull, but no cigar as of yet. We do have him though, we have the superior position now. Shouldn't be a problem. As we're coming in for him. Yes, really slowed down, he's going up now, so I just have to get the 50 cals in the right spot now. There we go, fire. Enemy gunner down as well, which is always nice. Means you can shoot back on that last little stretch. Aircraft killed. And as we are running low on ammunition and we are damaged again, we are going back to base, as this sturdy plane gets you through anything. And then suddenly the tickets ran out and we had to go back to base. That's such a shame. 5 kills. We still had 2 opponents left, I believe, 1 or 2 opponents, but oh well, we won. Mission accomplished. But I don't like those kind of missions which run out like that. Final blow, survivor, terror of the sky, 39,000 silver lions and almost 7,000 research points. Oh, there was 1 person left alive, that's right. I'll see you in the conclusion, guys. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now that was one of those matches where you thoroughly enjoying yourself, and unfortunately we didn't get that last plane. What we did turn it around, 1 versus 9, although technically that guy crashed himself into the ground, so it was a 1 versus 8. And we got 7 planes through some kind of means, but we survived. We stuck in there, and this plane with its durability can help you survive and get through difficult moments, and it makes it a forgiving plane that you can boom and zoom in. Get your boom and zooming skills up to date. That's good in the American line where this plane is a premium, but it's also good in the Chinese line where you get some other nice boom and zoom Americans later on, like the Thunderbolt and the Mustang. So that is nice right there. You gotta learn those basics, right? And this plane definitely is good to learn the basics in boom and zooming. It's a nice sturdy plane with some good guns and nice performance in a dive, and that's it. A turn here or there, you got to be careful of the lower speeds where it becomes a bit cumbersome, but all in all, I find the P-43 Lancer a enjoyable plane in which you can have fantastic matches as the one I just showed you. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, And if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.